I just looked around. I wanted to talk to somebody, you know. So the security weren't around, so I just went up to the recruiters, and it was a very good decision because this one master sergeant was extremely articulate, and I got the impression that the mall security were not very, very bright guys. They wouldn't have had much to say. They would have just said, "You can't do this here." Why not? Well, it's a mall. You know, it's private property. No, I understand this. We have our rules. You know, okay, fine. And I didn't have the presence of mind at the time to ask him about recruiting. But then I had this wonderful discussion with this lady. So we touched on a number of things, and she used the classic. There's information on both sides, and you know who's to say what's true? You know, what is truth? Pontius Pilate. I mentioned the famous Kissinger quote that you know, my information has the additional virtue of being true. You know, both sides say it, yes, well, they balance it up, but one. Anyway, and she said, "Oh yes, I know that quote." And she has 3 children and a stepchild, and she's very concerned for her children too, and so we touched on a number of subjects. Do you feel used by the government? Well, no, I serve my government. We're out there protecting your rights. I said, well, but it's been shown that you're making the world less safe.
One of our colleagues, Bill Ayers, has pointed out that we need to have a dialogue, a conversation with people with whom we don't agree. Do you feel that you got through to the recruiters at all?
Well, that's always an interesting question because she wouldn't take my bibliography. I was willing to, as I do for anybody, just spout off a number of books that have been extremely informative to me and given me what I feel is the background information that the news media don't give us. Books like John Perkins' Confessions of an Economic Hitman, Antonio Juhaz's book, The Bush Agenda. These are very deeply informative books, and they're very, very well researched and footnoted. But she wasn't interested. If I mentioned them in the context of history, it was easy for her to say, well, I'm not that interested in history. So I switched to the context of current events. And this didn't appeal to her. And I just saw that she was not in the information ingestion mode. She did not want to hear any other information. But I did say that, and then I just fell back on saying what I believe, that we started a war because of for the sake of the oil companies, not for the sake of the American people. It's made us less secure. I did insist very much on the non-support of the troops by the administration, the lack of armor, the Rumsfeld doctrine about underarming troops, the scandals at Walter Reed. I mentioned all of these things because she seemed to feel that the military really takes care of its own. And she was very articulate about that at the beginning of our conversation when she was talking about, yes, I feel responsible for the people under me, and you know, we're a very internally watchful organization, and I certainly praised her for that. But then I said, yes, but what about the authorities taking care of their responsibilities towards you, fulfilling their responsibilities? And she didn't answer this.